A 1-1 draw here at home to Horsham. Hayden, I feel like we could almost repeat the same interview from Wednesday and from Saturday. Another game where we seem to have been in control for 60 minutes and then only come away with a draw. What do you make of that?
Well, I don't think that we played as well as what we did on those games, albeit I agree with you. But, you know, you can't keep saying that's unlucky. And, you know, this is not a coincidence now. The fact is the game management isn't right. And today, for the first time when I'm with you, I firmly lay the blame on the players. You know, we were in yesterday, we spoke about exactly how to handle these situations. I understand in one training session it's not easy to correct it immediately, but I want to see an improvement in the shape of how you nullify these games, of how you see these games out. But the fact is they play with no game management, they played with a lack of control, and they play on emotion. And I think it looked desperate. It wasn't a team that was in control of 1-0 and had a big confidence of seeing out 1-0 to win. It was today a team that was winning 1-0 and looked desperate for the points and were hoping to win. That's a completely different analogy. And I'll be straight with you. I'm absolutely disgusted with every player on that pitch. That is not acceptable to my work. It's betrayed my work, and it's, for me, not good enough for this club.
What do you put that down to? Is it a lack of confidence? Is it, you know, if we've drawn a couple of games that we feel like we should have won, and we're going into the last 10 minutes 1-0, is it almost we're playing out of fear because we're scared it's going to happen again? Is it tiredness? What do you put that down to?
I don't think it's. We can put it down to fatigue. I don't think we could put it down to tired legs. I think that in big games, of which of course this is a big game. Every game is a big game right now. You have to manage the game, and there is the experience on the pitch to manage the game. You've only got to look at the appearances that Tolfrey, that Cloesi, that Cooper, that Beanie, that Kavanagh, for example, having this level of football. You can speak of Bennett. This is not an inexperienced team. I'm not laying the blame on those players, but I'm seeing a lack of leadership on the pitch and a lack of control to be able to see the games out. And what happens without the control, they move away from the strategies of our work, and it gives the opponents hope. And again, I was desperately disappointed when they scored, but I wasn't surprised, because it wasn't good enough. It wasn't close to being good enough. And if you want my opinion, 90 minutes wasn't good enough today.
The last 15 minutes or so, felt like the game got really niggly, lots of fouls all over the pitch. I think some of us watching probably thought that was actually in our favour in terms of seeing the game out, but did it actually end up having an adverse effect on us rather than them? Like, did that put us off our stride to some extent?
Difficult, but I think again, if you look at experience should see that out. If you play on emotion, you maintain playing at the same pace, and the game was pretty frenetic from start to finish for me, without a control. If there's niggly free kicks, then you delay their free kicks, you delay their restarts, you slow down our restarts, and you take the emotion out of the game. I can't criticise the players for their heart, I can't criticise the players for their effort, I can't criticise the players for their work rate and their desire, but if you cannot manage the game, you cannot see results out. And you know, I've sat here many times and I've defended them, and they deserve to be defended. And I'm not throwing them under the bus here, but I'm saying that I don't find it acceptable. And I will defend everybody, and I'll have everybody's back, in the same way as in Bognor when you spoke about Plan Bs. But that's not a reflection of my work. That's not a reflection of my beliefs, and that's not my reflection of my experience in how to win football matches. And I have to tell you, I'm absolutely sitting here for the first time livid with the team. I'm furious with what they've done out here today.
What does that make you want to? How do you respond to that in terms of going to Saturday's game? Then is it you send those same guys back out and say put it right? Is it you make changes? What approach do you kind of take after?
I think that I think you may have spoken to people in the past. Douse, God bless him, was famous for his interviews when he would not name and shame, but he would be probably more open than me.
Some managers would just sign an entire new team before mentioning names.
How would I approach it? I approach it with work. We've been in last night. We're in tonight. That should leave us now for recovery for Saturday, but we're going to come in tomorrow. Because, in my view, you can pay anybody to lose. We pay to win. And we're not winning enough games. And we accept that in year one, there's going to be a few bumps in the road. But I don't accept that. I do not accept that from minute 1 to minute 95. I don't accept that. And there has to be consequences to that. I'm not going to sit here and talk about that. I'm not going to sit here and name the team for Saturday. You learn early in football management, when you've lost, don't pick the team on the bus on the way home, as they say. But what I'm seeing is, a reminder of what I've always said. Everybody, gets excited. They talk about playoffs. It's too early for us. This is about building blocks. This is about foundations. And I think that we're ticking those boxes. But I think that there's a lot of work for me to get to where I want to be with this group, because I think that we've thrown away this season probably 20 points. We've been the better team, not often enough has the best team won. And albeit I don't think that we played well today, there's going to be occasions where we don't play well. But we all know in football, the best teams had those days. They don't play well. 1 chance, 1 goal, 1-0, you win. But if we don't learn the lessons, you don't win. We spoke about pre-match how we are patient in the first phase of play. How, in my analogy of football, the ball is the best player, and the movement dictates the pass, and that creates pockets, and that creates the creativity with patience in the middle third. And in the final third, we have to be killers. But I can speak of today's game, and I can speak of so many games this season where we haven't killed them. And again, Eddie goes through in the first 10 minutes, he hits the post, he has to score. He has to score. I see players, I see Dan Bennett, I see Tom Kavanagh, I see Gusseau in glorious goal-scoring positions as a result of a really good phase of play. They're trying to pass the ball in the penalty area. It takes me 10 passes to get there. It takes everybody else one big lump to get there. When we're in these areas, we have to kill them, because this is not rocket science. Football's easy. If you don't shoot, you don't score. And these people don't want to shoot. And then they walk away and say, well, we've murdered them, but we haven't won. Well, why do you think we haven't won? Because 18-yard line to 18-yard line, probably this is the best team in the league. In both penalty areas, this team needs far too much work in one season to create what I want. And the consequences of that is you lose when you should draw, and you draw when you should win. Now, because the team is good, we don't often lose. I think we've been in the last 14 games, we've got 27 points. Before today's game, 13, 26. 2 points a game between now and the end of the season gets you in the playoffs. You don't get in the playoffs if you're not ruthless. You don't get in the playoffs if you're not killers. You don't get in the playoffs if you cannot manage these situations. And there are people that have enough experience on that pitch to get through these situations. And today, they didn't manage the game at all well. And consequently, I think they've let me down. I think they've let themselves down. And if I was a supporter, I would walk away feeling let down.
Well, on to Saturday. We'll see them.
See you Saturday.